Will and Maeve, congratulations on Extraordinary. I laughed so much watching this movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was wondering, you guys obviously both have, quite a bit of experience in comedy. And at what point do you know that it's going to work? Is it when you initially get that script, or is it kind of when you're shooting the film, or is it only when you're kind of watching it with an audience that you know it's going to work?
I think that's a really good question, because so many things can go wrong, like along the way. Because even if when you're taping it all feels really good, then the editor could just be like, actually, and like wreck it or something. Or like they could overdub it with like some kind of bad accents.
Yes.
Or
it really is only when you're watching it that you know.
Yeah.
And unless you know, when you know the directors, like she's known them for a long time, and I got to know them obviously while we were doing it, and you develop a bond, and when they say, oh, we're really happy with it or something, then you start to go, okay, I'm excited about it. You can have good feelings along the way and go, oh, I think this could be really good. But you could always be disappointed in the end, and this is one of those experiences where it just turns out just the way you wanted it to, or even better.
I'd imagine for like comedy, it just must be so hard to shoot and not just be laughing all through it. Was there a particular scene in Extraordinary that was difficult to get through because you guys were corpsing a lot, or were you just very straight and professional through the whole shoot?
it's so fast though, isn't it? Like,
it's when you're in there, at least for me, I'm always trying to there's so many things you have to concentrate on, like make sure to remember to say your line here, and then there are all these notes that you're given in between scenes. You got to remember your lines, all this stuff. So it's for me, it's just focus on not screwing up.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't want to ruin somebody else's take. Like, she's super funny all the time, but I keep it together because I don't want to ruin her.
He's never laughed once.
Out of respect to her, and trying to.
I do knock jokes and everything, and you're just.
She does so rarely will she do a usable take that I don't want to. No, it is crazy. This is her first movie she's ever done. She's so good.
Thanks, Will.
You watch her and you go, oh, she's done 100,000 movies.
She's an elderly woman.
Yeah.
And she is the the Brenda Blethyn of Ireland.
Yeah. Yes.
Actually, picking up on that, Maeve, for this being like your first major lead, what did you find was kind of the biggest challenge that you had to overcome in doing that?
I think it was very fun, I have to say. It wasn't hard like other jobs are. It was more just a good, fun, interesting experience. Something that was like fascinating for me was being on a set and seeing all these different elements happening. I'm just one of them. Like, when it reminded me of my dad is in construction, and like my first day on the set, I was like, oh, I get it. Like, the directors are kind of like the architects, and then the first AD is like the construction manager, which is like what my dad does. And then, I mean, this is a really long analogy. It couldn't really go on and on. But basically,
go person by person for every job.
But it was just interesting. Like, it was a really interesting process to see. And like we were saying earlier, you have to trust that everyone is going to do all of these jobs really well for it to work out well. So that was, that was kind of cool to see that coming together. And then even like the producers who have to, or as I call them, the building supply.
In terms of preparing for these roles, like, you've got a kind of ghost whisperer and a Satanist. Is it possible to prepare for those kind of roles, or what would you guys have done before shooting?
Man, I mean, for me it was easy. I didn't do any kind of preparation because the way that they wrote the script made it so easy. It was very clear what they were looking for, and then we talked a little bit. It was mainly the undecided stuff was just what kind of hairdo I was going to have and that kind of stuff. So it was nothing but fun.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many jobs that you can go into that can be stressful and you're worried about a bunch of stuff, and for some reason this was just fun from the start. Every part of it. The film was so well written. Everyone was so friendly and super good at their jobs. Getting to meet all these people, like, well, I'd met her before, but this was the
Yeah.
first time we spent a long period of time, and it's just
Felt long, didn't it?
it felt very long, but we just had this big group of fun people that was like going to camp every day. Haunted camp.
Spooky camp.
Yeah.
And actually, Will, you're no stranger to Ireland, of course, because you previously did run and jump here. I was
Yes.
wondering, just kind of picking up on what you said there, have you found that Irish casts and crews, is there anything kind of distinguished about them compared to like other casts and crews you've worked with, characteristics-wise?
No, not really.
Yeah.
Everyone's very capable and good at their jobs, and it's
So many people had come, like Johnny, the first AD, was on like Vikings and Game of Thrones, and like the Irish film people are so busy and experienced and like good at their jobs that this.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
it's really the only stuff that's the craft services are just different. It's in the U.S. It's every kind of candy and potato chip there is, and here it's more like a pile of nuts and tea. And
I love all the analogies we're using.
But it's great because I gain far less weight than I do on.
And sometimes they'd be
American
like, "All the biscuits are gone." You just be like, "Okay."
But really, you could take the crew from an Irish set and put it in America and the same, and it's like just they're all really good at what they do, and the main thing that's different is just the environment, the locations, which it's
We were in a castle.
Ireland is obviously so unique, and has we don't have a ton of castles in the States, and I love it out here. It's any excuse I get to come out here I will jump at it. Yeah.
So I suppose my last question for you guys, and this is one that's just for fun, just because your character is a driving instructor and your character is learning how to drive from Rose at one point. Do you guys have any kind of early memories of when each of you were learning to drive? Anything that stands out?
Wow. I got a ticket the very first day that I got my license.
Did you?
Oh yeah, a speeding ticket. Yep.
You were a kid. They learn really early.
So I got my license taken away for a month by my parents. No.
I actually can't drive, but I did take lessons before here in Dublin when I lived here, and I do remember the guy really consistently farting throughout the lesson.
Oh no.
Like,
And I apologized for that. I used to teach driving lessons.
And just the tummy. Yeah, I had a great tummy.
Was he really?
Oh yeah, it was appalling. And like, I'm not like, ooh, a fart. But this was like, it was like his butt was open. Like he just kept farting. So that's my memory, but I still haven't got my license.
You gotta buy him a clamp, right? Or a clamp, I guess. If
Yeah.
it's open, it's hard to clamp stuff like that.
Yeah, a
You need
plug.
cork.
A cork, yeah. I'll get him a little cork.
A
Yeah.
sealant. Some kind of sealant.
Just any type of like that stuff you use on windowsills.
Yes. This is a good way to end this.
It's perfect,
I'm happy
isn't it?
this is the last question.
It's lovely.
Brilliant, we'll leave it there. Congratulations again, guys, on the movie so much. It was so funny.
Thank
you.
you. Thanks so
I
much.
liked it.